Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. For my next build is going to be this T-10 heavy tank from the Soviet Union. The kit's from MENG and the scale is 135. It's a very detailed kit. I can't show you the sprues because I've just primed them and they're waiting to dry. I did do a test spray on the main body, so that's that, but the rest is waiting to dry, so I do apologise, but I haven't got a lot of time today, so I can't show you everything. Now, instructions. The kit comes very nicely packed and a beautiful instruction booklet, which you often get from me. So here you have your normal description. Remember, a lot of it will be in Chinese, and the actual instructions are so beautifully laid out. I've gone through them and they all seem to be okay. Not any major things. Oh, I will point out though, because it's MENG and a lot of people don't like these, is the track. Now the tracks are individual little links that you have to make up. So you make up the links, you got little pins in that in it. It's actually fairly simple to do, but it takes a long time. There is a jig on the market by Tammy, I think it is, where just helps you build the links up. I will be using it, so during the course of the build I'll go through it. So here we go. The instructions, again very detailed, quite large. We're coming to the colour scheme and the sprue plan. So we have got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sprues with 4 joints for the links, and of course 8 for the links there. A small photo etch. Those will be for the for the exhaust, and of course decals and the paint scheme. This one is for 1968 by the look of it, and the various ones there as well. There's 1972. Might do that one. That was the year I was born. 1960 and 1970. But they're all very basically the same. I would imagine it's just the decals that are slightly different. You know, but I do like this cross pattern of the white here. That reminds me of the tank from Battle Barossa when Germany went into Russia in World War II. Anyway, so that's the instructions. This here are just little plastic sockets. Those are for the wheels, if you want your tracks to move, depending on the length whether you get them to move or not. I'll probably do them static, because it won't be it's not a model to be played with, just for display. So that's the kit. This one will probably take a bit of time to do. It's detailed. It's a normal 135 size, but it's quite a detailed kit. So we'll see how we'll get on with it. So, like I said, there's no time like the present. Let's get on with the build. So I'm going to start with painting the wheels and sprockets. So this is the Revell Aquacolor 362, and I'll be painting most of it on sprue for this time around, just because it's all basically the one colour. Just I'm using an old brush here, and it's designed just to thinly coat the object and I just like brushing in small circular motions to get a thin coat. Now that's all dry, time to cut them out and build up the wheels. The next stage is to put in the brackets for the wheels and all the other little bits, brackets on the underside of the tank. Now it's time to attach the wheels. On this kit, the wheels come with little plastic sockets, so you don't have to actually use any cement to put them in if you want them to be free rolling. Here I'm just preparing the spare track that goes onto the side. It's using Revell steel, which is a 91. So it's time to make up the lengths now, and the kit comes with its own little jig for you to make them up. You place them in, and then the little black things you see there, just pin it in. I think I can get on with it. So if you see the jig on the right, that blue metal thing, that's from Master Tools, Trumpeter, and that's it's a jig to build up the track lengths. So what you do is with this jig, you take the track length, put it in the channel, and the little sliding bar, the big thick bar you see, adjust to the size of the track, and you just slide it up, each link at a time, and then it attaches to it. Then you can glue it if you wish, or leave it free. It's entirely up to you. So I did this, and I took it out, and then I put in the pins. So as you can see, the tracks are partially made up, and I'm just linking the two together now. So now that's all stable, it's just a matter of wrapping the track around the wheels. And of course the same again for the second track. So as you can see here, I've laid down the track and I'm just putting in the little pins. These are just to make sure the lengths don't come apart. I did glue the lengths a little bit on the jig, as you've seen previously, but that was more just to give it a little bit of sturdiness when I moved it from the jig. Different lengths of different attributes. So that's the truck's in position now, and I'll just put that to the side to dry. Next is to build all the components that go onto the main tank body. So I'm going on to painting the main body now. Again, same colour, Revell Aqua colour 362. Again, using my favourite old brush. You can see the circular motion there. You can see very thin coats I'm putting on. It takes 1 to 2 coats depending on the look you're getting. I feel that I achieve what you can achieve with an airbrush doing this, and I think it's quicker as well. We're carrying on with the clear parts now. There's not many clear parts into it, just this one sprue for the windows and periscope options. You don't actually see a lot of them once it's all closed up, but it does have the option to have the turrets open where you can see more. So I'm just applying more to the framework now. Moving on to the rear exhausts now. These are painted in the same colour, then I went over with a dark colour later on in the build. So just laying down the glue and getting ready to install them. Moving on to the main turret now, and again the same painting technique as before. And now onto the photo etch parts. These are for the radiators, the front guards and rear stud work for the mud guards. Once that's all dry, it's now on to putting the two halves together. So it's a simple case on this kit to cement the bottom half and lay the top half on top. Moving on to the tow cables now. They were painted with Revell Aqua colour number 91, which is steel, and gone over with a wash, just a brown wash to give it a more metal look. But I'm painting the wooden post here, and that's painted with Humbrol colour 110, which is a wood colour, then highlighted with various washes. Going back to the photo etch parts now. As you can see, this is the radiator grills going on. And now for the fuel barrels, and they go in the back. That's the wooden pole dry, so I'm just attaching it now in the normal way. Attaching the clear parts now to the windows for the turrets. I'm using canopy glue here, which is just a white PVA adhesive, which you can find at any craft store. So I'm making up the lights now for the front of the tank. This is a photo etch part. It's a frame to go on top of the lights. Simple process again. Just take them off the sprue, bending them using my tweezers instead of bending tool, and attaching them with a super glue. And now when the lights are drying, I'm attaching the clear parts to the turret. Carrying on with the turret, I'm putting in the housing to receive the barrel, and then I'll be moving on to all the little grab rails and things that go onto it. Onto the canopy roll now. This is painted with using Aqua Colour 314. It's a beige colour, very lightly on it, and then again highlighted at the end. Now the kit did have an option of having a toolbox put on instead of the canopy roll. As you can see, just off the centre there it is there. I decided to put on the canopy roll because I like the look of it better than a big clunking toolbox. Moving on to the underside of the turret now, the ring, and just putting in the brackets here to receive the mount for the gun. Painting the gun barrel, the machine gun barrels now. This is painted in Tamiya gunmetal X10. Moving on back to the turret now, I'm just putting in, assembling the tops of the turrets. I'm having them permanently closed, so I'm not worried about contact points in the glue to have them free moving. Making up the machine gun here, I had great difficulty with this. So many tiny little parts going into it, and the instructions on this particular one weren't 100% clear where everything goes. So it took a little time, but I did get there in the end. Onto the main housing now for the gun barrel. Different little bits to attach here, from lights to the main machine gun and the surrounding brackets that hold it. And now moving on to the main barrel itself, just simple bonding. Then I'll be sanding it down, getting rid of the lines and making it all smooth before attaching it. Just adding a few paint touch-ups now, though that everything's dried on, the machine gun's in, the lights are in. So while I'm waiting for everything to dry, I'm moving on to the radiators again. I'm just giving this a base coat of the main colour before I darken them up. So before I put on finish off the turrets, I'm just giving the tank its main markings now. This white is Revell Aqua Colour 05, which is flat white. As you can see, they're not using any masking tape and just taking a flat brush and going down, because these weren't painted with any finesse, they were just done very quickly. So it's just a flat brush, pick a line and paint down, and the same with the other side to make a cross. The gun turret itself isn't actually attached yet, that's just on there to give me a line from turret to bodywork. It's time now to attach the barrel housing, the barrel and the openings for the turrets as well as the machine gun. Moving on back to the grills off for the exhaust, I'm darkening this up with the Life Colour Diorama Series UA731, and this one's a black and rubber shades dirty black. It just gives the used exhaust look. It's time to apply a varnish now. This is a Pledge Clear varnish, and I'll be applying this all over the main body. It's time to weather now. I'm not heavily weathering this, so I'm just highlighting the rivets and bolts with the Tamiya weathering pigment. I'm using soot and oil stain with a little bit of rust dotted in here and there. So I'm just using a paintbrush sharpener, which is a brush with a little foam end, and I'm just going over it lightly over the rivets just to make them stand out. Here I'm just using the white snow pigment powder to go over the white. Now the weathering is done, I've attached the turret. As you can see, everything's how it should be, and applying the finishing touch-ups with the weathering. Well, that brings the build to an end. It was a good, enjoyable build. Thank you all very much for watching. If you get a chance, why not check out my other builds on the channel. But for now, bye bye.